Hello there, and welcome back to The Escape Attempt. Sorry it's been such a long time since my last recording, but I've had a very busy couple months. But I thought I'd start things off again with an extra long episode containing myself, Mr. Andy Napleton, and Mr. Jeremy Garnham. We didn't have any one particular thing that we all had done or seen this time round, so I just put the recorder on the kitchen table and just sort of ran with it. We talk about Luke Cage, we also talk about the new Alter Bridge album, and Jeremy starts talking about the various different weird sports games that he's really into. So this recording is going to be a little bit loose. There may be a little bit of talking over each other and a little bit of excessive laughter in places and random diversions, but I hope there's some fun to be had here, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Escape Attempt, and I am here with two lovely chaps. Who are they?
Hi, it's Andy again.
Never get rid of this guy.
And I'm Jeremy.
You're a new guy to the podcast.
I'm a new guy. Yeah.
You're a new guy. What do you do, Jeremy? What's your thing?
I'm a student and I work.
Fair enough. Done. That's all the information we need.
That's definitely all you need.
Favourite colour, blood type, any of that stuff? No.
I think
Okay.
I think I know. I think I'm pretty
I
universal.
think you're O.
Are you
I think
O positive? It's the best one to be. I'm a universal giver.
No, I'm O negative. I know that.
You universal taker.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys ever given
universal giver. I'm a universal giver.
Are you?
No, because I mean O negative means that there's no antigens in the blood.
Have
I
you
think.
ever given blood?
Once. That's when I found out what my blood type was. And never again.
Never again.
When they say, oh, you've got a very rare-ish blood type, that means that you can give blood to anyone else, but I can only receive O negative.
So you just noped out completely. It was like, nope.
Well, yeah.
Run away.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So, moving on. We haven't all done anything together recently in terms of watching a film or played a game. So I thought I'd just say, what has everyone been doing? And we'll just talk about random stuff. Hopefully not about blood type for the next 40 minutes, but
No.
who wants to go first?
So, well.
Oh, Andy.
Straight off the bat with a hot topic. Basically,
Hot topic?
no, I've been watching Luke Cage
Oh, okay.
on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
I know that you haven't seen it, have you, Jeremy?
No, I thought you said Luke Cage and I thought like Nicolas Cage. Luke.
It's just cross between me and Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
No,
I watched that.
It's another one of the Marvel spin-offs, so it's introducing another superhero character and like an origin story. But it's been really well put together because it's quite dark, isn't it? I would say
It is, yeah.
because it's set in Harlem in New York.
Well, the only reason I watched it is because the guy's called Luke, and
What's
of course
his
I wanted to
power
watch that.
though? Like,
He's indestructible.
Well, kinda. Yeah, he's indestructible.
He's got unbreakable skin and he's super strong.
Why he's a
because
cage?
of
Well,
this.
I mean, he is based on a comic,
Yeah.
and I think in the comic he was experimented on, and then the experiment made his skin
does he have like a superhero name though? Or is he just Luke Cage?
He's called
just
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage,
Well, no,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
also referred to, I think, sometimes as Power Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
Is this an action thing or a porn star?
Is that the comic book? Is he called Power Man? I think he might be. I think that's why they.
Power Man.
It's like a flippant comment. It's not seriously him being called that. It's like one guy in it who's like his mentor.
I think it's his father at one point calls him Power Man.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but not like that.
No,
Not like that,
obviously,
Jeff.
obviously he ran out of names. It's like,
Well,
he's got indestructible skin. Why just like Indestructor Man or
Indestructor Man.
Oh, that's even better.
That's so much better
Yeah,
than Luke
Power Man.
Cage.
Instructor Man.
Well,
Instructor Man.
because he's not
That's
like
the
he's not like a proper hero.
No.
Should we say. He's almost like the C-list
Yeah.
stuff. But it's because he's low key. Like he's not going to be fighting aliens or anything like that, is he? Why did you look at me like that?
Because you're.
But he's
your
like
head.
invincible.
I just moved my
isn't he?
hair up.
But he's invincible, so theoretically.
Well, I
Why
don't
is he
want to
low-key?
give anything away,
Yeah.
but
He's technically not invincible. There is something that can break his
Kryptonite.
skin.
well, there's every
Yeah.
hero has the anti thing that will
Yeah.
will destroy them. Like Superman is kryptonite. Superman is like immortal, indestructible, whatever.
What is
Yeah.
Batman's downfall?
Well, Batman
Joker.
is actually
No,
a
he
hu-
can't
Joker,
kill.
yeah.
no. Well, Batman is actually human. He's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
He's not
so, yeah.
super.
Relies
no.
on
He's just
tools.
rich.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ones. The Hulk. What is his downfall? He just rages out.
He just
really.
gets
Yeah.
angry. Just
There's
Then
always
you've got-
some
then
flip
you-
side.
Yeah,
to
then
it.
you've got like Iron Man. who
As again, a human.
is again
Just a
a
human.
man who, if you got through the suit, is just
I was
just a
gonna say,
person.
he's just a human.
Just a guy. No, but with Luke Cage, it's like his story is quite interesting because I've not seen the actor who plays Luke Cage in anything before.
Neither have I.
From
no.
what I remember, so it's kind of a breakout role for him, and he plays a very stoic character, I would say. Like he's very quiet, but he's this enormous. I mean, he's probably like 6'5", something like that.
And he's built,
huge,
yeah.
stacked guy, and he doesn't even though he's got all these abilities and things like that, he works in a barber shop, like just sweeping up hair, and then in the night he works as like a bartender. So he's not. There's nothing.
Well, he's trying to be really low key.
Yeah,
because he's
yeah.
not. I mean, it's no spoiler.
Oh, so he
to
knows
say.
he's he knows he's a superhero.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
just trying to hide it.
Well, he's
not even trying to hide it. He just has no interest in
Ah.
kind of saving people. Like, he will help people, but not using his abilities. So he's just a normal guy, like in every sense of the word, except for the fact that he has unbreakable skin.
Well, he had
That's
a bit
how
of
I would put
he had
it.
a bit of a cameo in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
He was in that a little bit. He was introduced in that. I mean, in terms of Jessica Jones, it was the other one they did. Because
On
okay,
Netflix.
so on
So I've
Netflix,
like totally lost. I gave up on Marvel
Okay.
at the end of Spider-Man 3.
well, this is Marvel.
with Tony.
That's a bad place to
It's
leave
totally
it as well.
yeah.
But I mean, oh hello.
Apologies.
Marvel are doing this. You know, they've got their movie franchise, the movie universe,
Yeah.
and they've started their own TV universe as well. Started off with Daredevil, and it happens directly after what they call the incident, which is what happens in the first Avengers. You know, when New York is attacked by all those aliens.
I thought that happens in every Avengers.
Oh, for Christ's
So
Yeah, but
right,
the
so
Avengers
in the
are
beginning,
aliens
there was
in them.
Iron Man 1. Let's go through it. Let's go through all of them, shall we? No, we're not going to do it.
But basically, it's
They're all tied together,
Exactly,
yeah.
they're all tied together, but they're tied together quite loosely.
Yeah.
It's just this one central event, which is, like Luke said, is called the event.
No, the
And
incident.
the incident, sorry.
yeah.
And they're tied together by that, and then they're all living their own separate lives. But every now and again, you'll get this kind of since the incident.
Well, they'll
and
also say things like, "Oh, some guy with a big hammer is going to come along and save us." No, like
Yeah.
they talk about the
Yeah.
Avengers, but
Yeah.
very, very loosely.
Yeah. So I think there will obviously be there's crossovers coming in all the time. So there was a crossover between another Marvel one was the Flash.
Yeah.
So that was
Well, no,
another
that's
one,
DC.
and That's DC.
That's DC,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's DC.
That's Arrow,
So-
the Flash,
Arrow, the
and
Flash,
we've got
DC,
Masters of the Universe,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah, you're
Legends of Tomorrow is another one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, they all the Marvel characters are being linked together, and there's a character who plays a nurse in Luke Cage who is crossed over with Daredevil.
Okay.
So they're all linked because they're all in the same city and things like that. And
Yeah.
it doesn't get confusing only because they don't introduce all the characters at once.
But they
It's
all
just
start to cross over and it becomes.
there will be.
Well, it doesn't
I
have
would
to be
assume so.
as shoehorned in as the movies, because the movie is only like 2 hours. That's it. Whereas these TV shows, they span for 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's almost like 9.5 hours worth of content. So they can be quite slow with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing about Luke Cage is I find it was quite slow moving.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a TV show that's almost meant to be watched week to week.
Yeah.
Because in a week to week show, you'd have a big sort of build up and a big sort of like cliffhanger for the ending
Yeah.
of the episode.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones, they almost blurred together
Yeah.
because it's designed almost for binge watching.
Yeah.
Like Netflix have
Yeah.
gone, oh, this is meant to be, I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes in a go.
So they release the entire season in one go, so you can just flick from one to the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that kept me gripped though about Luke Cage was I did really like his character, and the supporting cast is really well put together.
I felt that it was tricky because the guy who plays Luke Cage, and unfortunately
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, I don't know his name, even though it's on the credits every single time
Yeah.
you watch
Yeah.
it, you just
Yeah.
got to skip past
Yeah.
it. But I didn't think he was that good an actor. I mean, he
Yeah.
was going for stoic,
Yeah.
but there are times when he just says things and it's like he is putting absolutely nothing
Yeah.
into it.
I mean, I'd agree, but I would say that I think that lends itself quite well to the character he's
Oh,
playing.
yeah, no, I
like he's
thought-
quite a disinterested guy.
But-
And that does change, and his character does evolve. But I think if they'd had someone in there who was quote unquote a real actor, like someone who tends to act a bit more, I think it might have been a bit much for for the part that he's playing.
well, this is the thing. Like, as the series progresses,
Yeah.
things get more intense. He needs to put more into it. The stakes get raised.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think his acting doesn't take it to that level
Yeah.
either. He's still playing that almost kind of nonchalant,
Almost
as to
like
what's
War
happening.
of the Ducks back kind of thing,
Yeah.
where something bad will happen and you'll kind of go, oh, that's bad.
But
I should probably spring into action.
I did
now,
like his
this.
voice and the
Yeah.
way he like stood, and
Yeah.
the fight scenes were
Yeah.
quite cool as well.
The character he plays is good, but the acting style,
It's just
a
that-
lot to be desired.
It's just because they started to put more like, but in contrast with the main villain, shall we say,
Yeah.
who is a bit more emotive and there's a bit
What
more
does he
going.
do? What's his?
Well, he's like a gangster. It's a
Yeah.
gangster thing.
It's a mob corruption story. It's quite basic,
Yeah.
but the I can never remember her name. The other supporting actress who plays the sister of the cousin, of the main bad
Oh
guy.
yeah, I've seen her in a few things.
Yeah, she's very good. You recognise her as soon as you see her again. All the names are escaping me, but like there's a lot of talent in that series. I just think that the second series is going to utilise that a bit more because
And I think it was nice. It was a good sort of departure, I think, from because it's a black TV show. Like, I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's a case of that, it's very much within black culture. It's
Yeah.
talking about Harlem and it's all about a black superhero.
Yeah.
And there's hardly any. I mean, the only thing you've got is War Machine in the Avengers and stuff. But this one is very much sort of
what's his
taking...
name? Falcon as well.
Oh yeah, Falcon, forgot about him.
But other than that, you're
But that's
right,
the thing, it's so under...
It is a very... I mean,
underexposed.
Marvel characters from when they were created, which was in like the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
were mainly white. So now they're really expanding into like the black culture.
And I quite liked it because it
Yeah.
had a really good soundtrack.
It was very
It's
different,
really
yeah.
into its music,
Yeah.
and there was, I wasn't lost in. I didn't feel alienated as a white person watching it
No.
or anything like that. I felt like it was. I could, emote with the people and
Yeah.
empathize with the things that were happening.
Yeah.
So I did like it for that, and yes, as I say, the soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah.
Because the main bad guy has a club,
Yeah.
and you have these live acts playing, and I quite liked
And
that.
it's all hip hop and jazz and soul and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of music anyway. So you listen to it, and when it's an original soundtrack as well,
Yeah.
when it's tracks that because you could watch other Marvel films like Iron Man where it's AC/DC and things like that, and you're like, oh yeah, like everyone knows AC/DC, it provides a rocking soundtrack, but the tracks. It kind of I would never class that as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Has a good soundtrack, but only because they're putting in all like massive 80s
Big
hits
tunes,
in.
yeah.
Whereas this, it's like understated tunes that you've never heard of, and then you look up the artist afterwards. You're like, oh, okay, this is a great idea. But I think that's kind of all to be said for Luke Cage. I think it will be interesting to see what happens in the next series, which will probably come out some point next year, no doubt.
Well, I mean, the next one I think is Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That's coming out.
Really?
That's the next one, because then after that they're doing Defenders, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
them all coming together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
their
yeah.
version of Avengers.
Yeah.
So you guys find it like with all these television shows having these like year-long breaks? Do you find that you get disinterested and like you lose your focus?
Well, this is the weird thing about these sort of weekly watching as opposed to binge
Yeah.
watching, because these
We've
shows.
had this conversation before,
Yeah.
haven't we? Where
Because if you binge watch something, it's almost like you get a bit like, right, I'm done with that for a bit, I'll take a step back. Or people go, where's season 2? I can just watch season 2 and I'll binge that, and they just overdose on a TV show. Whereas if you're doing it weekly, I think because it spreads it out a bit more, the wait doesn't feel quite as bad because you're already waiting for each episode. But I don't know which one I prefer. There are some TV shows that I would like to have week by week, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I quite liked watching week by week.
Yeah.
And
Breaking Bad, I liked watching
Yeah.
that week by week as well because there was a lot of suspense and a lot of
Yeah.
tension being built.
Walking Dead's good. I mean, it's quite cool now though with the Walking Dead because you've got that lull, but they've now introduced Fear the Walking Dead, which kind of bridges.
well, as a spin-off.
it's quite good. It's actually good. Like there's like one character and he carries it pretty well.
Do you want to talk about Fear of the Walking Dead or?
Don't
Don't have to if you don't want to. I mean,
That's, it's a zombie.
Well,
film.
let's talk about something that you are into. I mean, we've both.
I don't know.
been-
I'm into television shows. It's just I haven't seen Luke Cage. I mean, I just lost interest with Marvel. I mean, especially just the
I can completely
regurgitation of
understand
Spider-Man.
why, yeah.
It's like all these comic films. It's just milking. It's like Batman. It's like Ben Affleck now. It's like, come on, Christian Bale was like, in my opinion, like pinnacle Batman. Like,
Yeah.
the voice.
Although he did not the voice. Like it got a bit sick.
It got silly, but I think the voices got a bit silly in the third film. I think that kind of went across the board. Like Batman's voice got way too low, and Bane was just completely incomprehensible.
I
You
liked
just
Bane.
had-
I liked Bane.
Oh, I know you did. I find that weird. I just
I'm Gotham's
wa-
reckoning.
Yeah, I just found
I will
it
break
weird.
you.
It's like the first.
Where am I from?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that bit at the very beginning where they're in the plane and it's like so what do you intend to do now? And it's just like
Pass him, Mr. Rowe.
you're like I'm sorry, what?
Perhaps you
Like-
run away, shoot a man
Yeah.
before throwing him out of plane.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
Bane is Scottish. Isn't Bane supposed to be Cajun?
I don't like that. I don't know
Born
the
in a
law.
hole. I stayed here. I let a child escape. That's what he did. The girl climbs up.
Yeah.
How did he get out?
What? Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
but
he
no, no,
detached
no,
himself
no.
to another plane and then just kind of.
You know what? I've never asked myself that question. Like the
Broke
good
people,
girls get
stacked
out,
them
but
up on top of each other and climbed my way out.
I'm just
of
gonna
it.
grab him, take him out.
That's a good point. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, only one person escaped.
Need
from
to-
it.
to watch
the
it
thing is,
again.
I hated the what is it, The Dark Knight Rises. You know when Batman, you know when Christian Bale gets out of the prison, and everyone's like, "Oh, how did he get back to Gotham?" I don't care because he's Batman. That's my like reasoning for that. He's
where the hospital.
he's a billionaire philanthropist.
That word, yeah.
That
All-
he's that thing, and he will have money in offshore accounts. He can just access
Yeah.
some account and he'll get back to Gotham.
yeah.
Silly.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, those films they were really heavily stylized,
Awesome, though.
but they were brilliant. Like they revitalized the Batman franchise.
Well,
but then I
it's
think
gone downhill after Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. When the bat suit got nipples, that's when it went down.
Yeah.
Was that with was that when he played the Freeze Schwarzenegger?
Oh, I loved him as a
I love that film. I think it's so over the top. and
Freeze is coming.
Today Gotham freezes.
You sound like you've got a cold.
I'm so bad at an Austrian accent.
I just loved him as.
I love him in everything.
Yeah.
And there's like Suicide Squad and things, and it's like I can't really bring myself to watch it just because.
You just don't want to. I know what you mean.
Because it's like you don't even have time to get over the previous roles. Like I mean, even like the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker was iconic, and it's like
The staple now.
it's just
You think
yeah.
of that, and
now
think
you
of-
look at like even the trailer for like Jared Leto's like.
his Joker
he's
and
kind of
stuff,
just
yeah.
doing the same thing, and
well, I mean, it's different people's
as a
inter-
method actor,
and he's
I
not-
threw
and
a
it-
pig in your room and was a dick.
and the fact that he's not actually in the film that much. Like he was such a massive part of the advertising campaign. He's in the film for about 15 minutes, if that. And you can't pin all your hopes on like the new Joker and what he's bringing to it, and all the tattoos and the amazing makeup, and then him just not be in it. And to be honest, his Joker, I didn't like that much. But again, like you said, I'm comparing it more to Heath Ledger, where his was actually insane, whereas I think with Leto's Joker, it's more that he's just a bit manic. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit.
Well, no, I
He's just
thought
unhinged.
Christian Bale's Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, he was more like, he wasn't, I didn't think he was mad. I think he was just, the line in the film is, some men just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
That, I think he
He was a
was,
psychopath and just
he had clarity.
A sociopath. He just wants to fuck up everything.
Well, that's the
for
thing.
no reason. Yeah.
I thought, he had clarity in what his goal was.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you look at someone like, and there was the same for Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson, yeah.
He had madness, but he had clarity. I haven't seen Jared Leto, but if he's just manic running around for no apparent reason, if you can't see the drive behind it,
It's
then,
literally, I don't see the method in the madness. There's no kind of. I think it's just a bit much. And I like Jared Leto. I think he's a brilliant actor. But yeah, with method actors, it's like hardcore method. Like, and there's people in the audience like, this is amazing, and you're just like, there's no need.
I think
for that.
I can't remember. I think it might have been Laurence Olivier. He talked to Al Pacino at one point, and Al Pacino was going through. He was talking about all the things he would have to do for certain things in his for his films, all the method stuff that he would go through. I think Laurence Olivier just basically said to him, "You should try acting once. It's much easier." And you know what I mean? It's just like you
Well,
are
Daniel
still
Day
doing things.
Lewis,
That's too much,
where he basically went homeless or something like that for a couple of weeks, and you're just like, but I guarantee you're not actually homeless. There will be someone watching you at all times because you're Daniel Day Lewis.
Well, there's always something in the back of. There must always be something in the back of his mind that he knows that he's a famous actor. That's
I
got
can
loads
go
of money.
home to my £1 million mansion at the end of the day if I choose to, as opposed to living homeless and actually having nothing. If he'd spent every penny he had and sold his house and was like, right, I have fucking nothing now,
Yeah.
then fine. But he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he just went, I'm just going to go and camp on the side of the road for a few weeks and pretend that I'm just not shower.
It's just
Like,
not.
no.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. It seems disingenuous, really,
Yeah.
doesn't it? But I want to move away from superhero stuff
Yeah.
because I want to talk about. We've been listening to the new Alter Bridge
Yeah,
album.
awesome.
We're seeing these guys live soon, and
Month's time, just over a month.
it is because it's in November, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, should be
in,
good.
in the teens or something.
Andy
17.
is not coming because
I
I'm
am
not,
not.
not a fan.
Not a fan of Alter Bridge.
No.
But this album, what's it called? It's called. It's not Take. Show
it's
me your
Last
leader,
Hero?
isn't it? Last Hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely. I'm going to start by saying I love the cover art. Basically, because it's got this guy who's got a scrunched up face,
Yeah.
who's looking at a load of arrows that are coming towards him.
Yeah,
He's going, he's just saying, no, you can shoot arrows in my face, but it doesn't matter. It's such a like bravado in it, and I think the album actually reflects that quite nicely. What are you moving around, Andy? He's brought up
Just so
Alter Bridge on Wikipedia.
because I know
what they're talking about.
because I couldn't remember the names of the previous albums.
Okay. Have you listened to any of them, Andy, at all?
I've listened to some of their old stuff. I honestly couldn't name you any songs.
Much of the stuff.
No, I mean it's the kind of music that I like going to gigs that sometimes where I don't know the music and just seeing if it's something that resonates with me. But I've listened to a fair amount of their stuff over the years, and it's just never really gripped me like I want it to. So when you said like, oh, we're going to go and see it, it's going to be amazing, like you have memories to draw from that
It's
band.
like it's really heavy, like it's a guitar, it's guitarist music. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's very guitar.
Well, is it just they call it heavy metal? Is it
Yeah.
hard, I'd say hard rock.
But I mean, all the
not
guitar
heavy
riffs,
metal.
the solos. I mean, things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their track Blackbird. It's just like it's an epic in terms of
Yeah.
It's
It's
the
these
same
guys that are technically very good at what they do,
Yeah.
and they're just trying to make something that is almost in a weird way commercial, aren't they?
It
They're
is.
kind
I
of
mean,
just-
it is. I mean, even the heavy stuff. I mean, this new album's a lot heavier. Than what
Well, I was going to say the progression of their career, because
Yeah.
obviously the band is made up of the musicians from Creed and Miles Kennedy as the singer.
Creed.
I
heard a really funny thing. I heard a really
the chunky
So
voice.
you know what he's like? He goes, I heard something on the internet. I read something on the internet. I ate a bagel when I heard thunder, and I just can't get it out. Of it's just like,
I mean, I lump like bands like that together with it's a bit of a love or hate thing, you know, like Bon Iver.
But okay.
Yeah, depending on however you want to say it.
Yeah. That's just really high pitched vocals.
You keep
getting messages from Dave Mustaine.
No, it's Dave McKenna.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying it from here.
It's like
channeling
one of my
you.
friends, Dave McKenna's like, it's Dave Mustaine texting me. Fuck Metallica.
Luke's my number one fan. No, it's music like that. I think it either really gets you or it doesn't. And for me, it was just something that just I never really clicked with. But
it
I
took
can
me-
imagine because they're playing the O2, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, it's going to be a big arena thing.
They sell out UK. And
Well,
well, massive
this-
over here.
I'd say
strange,
Fortress, their previous album, and this new one, The Last Hero, is designed for a stadium. It's
Yeah.
very big, bombastic,
I mean,
epic
show me
stuff.
a leader. I mean, it's.
Show Me a Leader, I love that song.
I
Just for the
didn't
pure-
like it when I first heard it. I just thought
Okay.
that kind of like the lyrics. There's something
The
like
lyrics
kind
are
of
a
like.
bit stupid, aren't
No,
they?
they're not stupid. I mean, it takes you a while
Show
to
me a
kind
leader
of
that won't compromise.
compromise or what.
Yeah. It does go back to the cover art with that guy's face. Just
Yeah,
going,
yeah. But no, it's growing on me. And
I haven't
like,
seen
I was
it.
listening to it at work the other day, and I was kind of like fist pumping like the minute it comes.
Yeah,
on. I was
that song is quite cool, and I like the build
the
up
other
to
side.
the solo and
I
stuff.
think the other side is a good track to the.
So yeah, Alter Bridge's career, I think, starting from their first album, One Day Remains, it was kind of, as you finding their sound, going from
Progression
Creed,
yeah.
because Creed were mainly for sort of teenagers. It's for a teenage audience.
I
It
think
was
Mark.
quite-
I think Mark Tremonti wrote most of the lyrical content. It was kind of like a solo.
I thought it was Scott
project.
Stapp, wouldn't it?
Nah, for one day Remains, I think it was Mark.
Oh,
Mark
right,
Tremonti
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
most of the lyrics.
Well,
and
I
stuff,
mean, because they probably they would have drafted in Miles
Yeah.
Kennedy, and it's just like, you're just here to sing. Stop it.
but then I discovered like
Well,
he's
he's
actually
actually
knew what he was.
he's a really good
capable.
guitarist
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well as a really good singer. And I mean, it might be for the detriment of it, because I think some of the lyrics in the later albums are a bit like, what is going on here? They're just, he starts singing about like, gotta fight on stuff and things like that. He's talking about like living on, and you know, even though times are tough, you got to keep fighting and
But
stuff.
that's like rock, mate.
This is
like-
power ballads, I suppose.
Yeah,
But yeah, I felt like the first couple albums were very sort of like, they're trying to find their sound. They're a hard rock band that had progressed from a sort of a teenagery sort of band, and so they've kind of progressed into this sort of becoming progressively more epic.
I mean,
in a
I
way.
think they're carrying the flag for rock, modern rock now. I mean, people
They
are
are for
saying
that
rock
sort
is
of thing.
dead, but I mean,
Yeah, they're still selling out stadiums, and I think like I liked Fortress because I felt like that was a quite a nice progression from that sort of hard rockish sort of stuff into something that is a bit more like bombastic, that is their own sound in a way.
so I think I like more the melodic stuff. That's
Well,
what
I
like.
thought Fortress had a fair bit of melodic stuff in it.
Yeah.
Whereas this new one, The Last Hero, it's
a
just gone
lot
heavy.
That's
Which
quite-
is probably why they can now do massive arena gigs.
Look, they're
because-
doing them before though. I mean,
Well,
I think
they-
they're
yeah.
massive in Europe. Like, I think they're
Oh, are they?
really
Okay.
big over here. I mean, I don't know about US, and I mean, definitely New Zealand. They barely
I'd say they could be
hear
quite
much
big.
about
They'd be big in America, wouldn't they? There's a big hard rock scene out there.
Yeah, I just
Um,
think that Europe's kind of got that more metal. There's like the whole
Well,
Scandinavian
yeah.
metal thing going.
And
on.
I
that's
think
the
yeah,
heavier stuff, isn't
I
it?
mean, I think with America, obviously, they've got so many more stadiums, so many more arenas that they can sell out gigs that are going to be
and more people.
Yeah, that are
Yeah,
gonna-
it's just a bigger country,
That
yeah.
are going to be somewhat smaller. Whereas when they come to the UK, we've only got a handful, even less than that, that can sustain
Just like
those
the big
bands.
cities like Liverpool,
I mean,
Manchester.
yeah. I mean,
London.
if you come to London, you've got the O2 and you've got Wembley Stadium. Like that's kind of it.
and all the football
um,
stadiums.
Well, yeah, but
You
you
guys
don't.
got heaps of stadiums.
No,
yeah.
We got a couple of
There's
grass
more
pitches.
stadiums than you can name.
A couple of
There
grass
are a lot-
pitches back home.
There, you guys just gather in a
sit on the
field.
side.
New Zealand, who knows what's going on
You just
there?
pitch up a giant stage in a field and you're done.
With a
like-
couple of sheep.
Yeah,
You're right.
with a couple of thousand sheep.
couple of sheep.
Million
For
sheep.
3 New
Million
Zealanders.
sheep. Yeah. But I think because there are less there are less stadiums in the UK. When a band comes over, they will play that venue for like 3 nights and then they're done. That's kind of it. Then they have to move on because there is nowhere else.
Yeah.
Like you said, you do have Manchester, you do have Birmingham, but you don't have the same. Like they're all Wembley Arena size, which is probably 1,000, 2,000
How often are
capacity.
bands playing at Wembley Arena?
So cool. I mean, like the
There's
biggest
quite
ones
a
were
few-
Coldplay were there.
Coldplay,
like, over the
Beyonce,
summer, yeah.
Foo Fighters have obviously played there.
No, they didn't in the end, did they?
Because he broke his
Because he
leg.
broke his leg.
Yeah.
I had tickets for that gig. I was
That
I
was
was
the
pissed
one.
off.
That was the one that was being supported by Royal Blood.
yes.
And,
And Iggy Pop.
yeah.
yeah. I was so annoyed
That
because I was
would've been
well up
amazing,
for
'cause I
that.
saw
You know,
that
I'm
and
a
I was
smash
like-
Iggy Pop.
well, no, okay, but
Sorry,
I would
but
have
I
loved
mean-
to see Royal Blood.
But a hell of an opportunity for Royal Blood. I mean,
Yeah,
these
yeah,
are two
definitely.
guys who are relatively unknown at the
Yeah.
time. Like they've just come out with Out the Black, which is one of my favourite rock albums.
I think that is a great rock album, and I'd say it actually sounds in a weird way kind of similar to this new Alter Bridge album. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not as dirty. I'd say that. What are the names again? So Royal Blood.
Yeah.
I forgot their names for a second. It's a bit grimier. It's a bit dirtier.
Yeah.
Whereas the Alter Bridge is a bit more produced.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, yeah.
everything. But I'd say it's a very
Yeah.
similar sound. You've
'Cause
got
I-
very
yeah.
crunchy bass.
I mean, if you guys are into Royal Blood, have you seen Highly Suspect? Quite a similar.
You're
kind of
highly
similar-
suspect. Sorry, you walked into that one
Very
again.
good, very good, well done.
Zing.
Captain Obvious.
No, they're worth
I've
watching
not heard of
as
them,
well.
no.
It's kind of like a sludgy kind of rock sound. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got that similar.
Because I like the fact that
Vibe.
bands are going back to that now. I mean,
Yeah.
like obviously you make music yourself. It's like you make a lot of rock music and like rock pop music. Like I think that's fair to say. And I think
treading.
but like
Justin Bieber.
Jeremy nearly threw the table in the way. It's like, I'm an auteur!
But I think because they're trying to bring rock back a bit more because it did disappear between kind of 2000 to 2010 because pop punk took over.
I mean, it's kind of
And-
turning into an old man's genre.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people throw around the term dad rock, don't they? It's,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bit dad rock. And I
Yeah.
do feel like, because I'm a big fan of rock, and I do feel a bit uncool whenever you, Andy, you take me to like where like drum and bass nights and stuff, and I see people that are younger, that are about all the same age or younger than
Yeah.
me, like absolutely into it, and I'm like, well, I wish I was at a Rush gig with all the granddads.
I want to see 5 cadavers playing their
What
wooden
are they?
tombstones. Dead people, dead bodies.
5 Cadaver, what?
Cadavers.
Oh god, I thought that was the name of a band.
Yeah, that's
a good band name. Is that we are 5 cadavers,
Put that down. That's a good.
and this is our song, Embalming Fluid.
Those like we were listening to earlier.
I'm gonna edit that
Drowning
out,
Pool.
write that down.
Just do a cover of Bodies.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great song.
It's a banger. But yeah, I think.
But Andy, you're not a big fan of hard rock.
I mean, yes and no. I think there are bands that I do listen to, but yeah, I'm not a big 70s kind of.
Well, it's not necessarily
rock
from the 70s.
stuff. No, but I mean, even now, like I
talking about Diamond Head or
I
anything.
no, I don't. I don't like Metallica. Like
Okay.
it's not because I think the music's bad. It's just about the music really clicking with me, and I think that I listen to one or two of their songs, and I'm just like, okay, there's a whole album of this. No, like when there's obviously festivals like Sonosphere and things like that, where you will get. I mean, that's more metal based now.
Yeah.
But,
Iron Maiden and
yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
yeah.
Like
power metal.
yeah, like bands like that. I'm just not interested in. It just doesn't grip me.
Well, no, that's fine. I mean, everyone has their taste.
Yeah, from a
It's okay,
musicianship point of view, I can completely appreciate where it's like why people love it so much. But a rock gig now, I'm just like I lose interest after a while. Whereas if I go and see a DJ, because the music is continuous, there isn't this song gap. I find it a bit more. I can have a better time because I feel like it's an actual event. But I find that
I prefer to watch people playing CDs.
I think I know what he means, but
I mean, there are obviously, don't get me wrong. There are so many bands that I've seen over the years that have smashed it live, and bands that I would never thought would. Weirdly enough, one of the best shows that I've seen is Fight Star. so weird, but honestly, I saw them play at a small venue called Wedgwood Rooms in Portsmouth on the south coast, and it was.
you're just such a teen. You love pop
God,
punk and you love
I just
DJs.
love-
Creepy Bisson boys.
You love swearing and
I
nose
love
rings
swearing.
and tattoos. And
I'm very, very middle class.
Alabaster
so
skin.
No, yes, my skin is alabaster stone. But no, it's
practically porcelain.
But it really is. But basically, it's because like when I go and see these bands again, like you go and see these people, and you're expecting it to be kind of good because you know a few tracks. But when they perform, I like smaller gigs, I like intimate gigs. Like stadium gigs don't interest me because you get lost in the crowd. Unless you
it
are.
usually sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. So long ago, I saw George Michael.
All right,
and,
Grandad.
went up to
Yeah.
and it was cool. But I mean, we were up in the nosebleeds. Like you couldn't, and you end up just having a conversation with the person next to you. Like
The nosebleeds at
Yeah.
George Michael.
That's a Freudian slip. There was one. But no, it's
Slanderous, I tell you.
it just means that when you go and see these guys and like you really want them to. You really want a show, and when you don't get it, you're just a bit like, like I've just spent.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a stadium gig, you could be paying £100 for a ticket, and if it's not good, you just leave feeling disappointed. I mean, I saw Fleetwood Mac at the O2 a couple of 2 years ago, and it was amazing.
Oh.
It was absolutely incredible because I was further forward.
Oh, okay,
But if you're
right
up
there.
at the back, you're just kind of like, it's good.
Could just about see Stevie.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
And
about see her nose.
I could just just about see her
Or what's
skin
left of
falling
it.
off her face. Yeah, exactly. But that was an amazing show. But yeah, I think with hard rock, it just doesn't click with me.
Well, whenever I go to like DJ events, I do get to a point where I'm just like, I feel like everything sounds the same.
Sure.
Like, everything is just sort of bleeding into one.
Yeah.
I can get into a good rhythm, into a good beat, and I can have a good dance, but
Yeah.
then part of me is in the back of my mind always wants to just sing a major key chorus,
Yeah.
Just give me a chorus, just give me something. And then
Yeah.
I find it tantalizingly annoying sometimes when a DJ will throw in like a mix of a popular song
Yeah.
that has a good
Yeah.
chorus, because then everyone, there's so many times, so many times I've been and they've thrown in something like Nevermind,
Yeah.
and everyone just goes nuts and everyone starts singing the chorus,
Yeah.
and then the DJ will stop that and put on something else that's just a beat,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh. I was
I
jazzed for a
just getting
second there,
excited.
and
Yeah,
then it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it was taken away from me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I know exactly what you mean. Using those samples can sometimes get you in hot water because you switch on half the crowd,
Yeah.
and then halfway through them getting really hyped, you turn it back into your own song. And people have obviously gone to see you, but like I go to these gigs because I love that music, but I will bring you along because it's a good time, it's a
Yeah.
good party. But then you can get a bit, yeah, exactly like you're saying, you get kind of teased with a track, and then you're like, oh, it's not coming. Oh, fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm miserable now.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna go to the back and just sit there.
I can completely forget what we did last time.
No, it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Luke, where are you? We're just having a little sit down.
We're just having to sit down. My feet were hurting. I'm older than you.
That's the thing though about gigs and stuff. I mean, like, yeah, I'm pumped for Alderbridge and stuff, but knowing that I'm gonna have to stand for 4 hours against like
I'm already thinking
hundreds
about.
of sweaty bodies, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I know I'm not going to be able to
It's just
drink any
like,
beer
yeah.
because I'll just have to go for a wee like 3 times through the gig, and it'll just be a case of I won't be able to get back to the original position.
But
'cause,
there was
yeah,
like there was somewhere you could like sit down and then go back into the mosh pit for a little
just
while.
want to teleport into the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be moshing at Alter Bridge.
Oh yeah, there is. It's like
Do you reckon-
Gojira's playing and stuff like that.
What,
Like,
being supported by?
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
God, I
Sorry?
haven't moshed in ages.
Who, sorry?
Gojira.
Oh, Gojira.
It's gonna be. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to mosh?
Do you guys have like a district in England where you just got all the weird people kind of like?
Yeah, it's called
live in-
London.
No, they like live in
district.
caves, and then like an international act comes over, and they all kind of come out
Live
of
in
caves, and all
caves?
these like. No, it's we call them West
What-
Aucklanders.
What
but-
is? I was going to say, what is life like in
I
New
think-
Zealand?
yeah.
I think
Like
there
they
are
just
certain-
trolls emerge.
There are certain bands, I suppose, if you go to certain cities where they have like an enormous following, like a slightly more underground band, then yeah, you might find that people will just kind of crawl out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
my band is coming.
Because like
back."
Lamb of God plays in Auckland, all of a sudden you just hear all these long haired
Look how
guys wearing
greasy my
camo
hair
shorts and
Oh, that's weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. But no, I think, but it's interesting you bring up like mosh pits and things like that, because mosh pits are very different now than they were like 10, 12 years ago. Because I remember going to see bands like Under Oath and things like that when I was in like my post-hardcore like teen stage.
Oh my god, well, you're still in it.
No, I'm not. I moved on. But like but like back then, I remember would go to a gig with all my friends and like we'd be in the mosh pit, and if you were with like a group of girls or something like that, people were more careful. Like they were more kind of aware that say a girl got knocked down in the mosh pit, you'd suddenly get people stopping or kind of crowd the way, help people up and be like, "Are you okay? Do you want to kind of?"
Oh yeah, no, I've experienced that. I've
Do you know,
fallen over.
Do you know what I mean? And people have been like, "Fuck, are you all right? Like,
Yeah.
get up and like off you go."
think I
But
was-
now it's like when you go to like see like a big metal band and they do like the Wall of Death and things like that, and you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
Ugh.
and that is literally just chaos.
I think it depends on the music. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go to like a death metal gig and it just is brutal. But I mean, yeah, I experienced that. I remember when I saw Enter Shikari.
Oh.
And I got completely taken out, and some giant dude helped me up, patted me on the shoulders, like, "You're right," and I was like, "Yeah." And then everyone was like, at one point, I tapped a random guy on the shoulders, like, "I really need to do up my shoelaces. Can you just protect me for a
Yeah.
second?" He was like, "Yeah, rock on." I was like, "Okay."
Rock on your shoelaces.
It's like, those two things do not belong in the same
No.
sentence.
No, but I just remember it being much more of a kind of a mentality of just like everyone's here
Everyone's
to have a
here
good
for
time.
one- for
let's
one
not
purpose.
let's
But
not
how
make
old,
anyone
old were
die.
you when this was happening?
Probably like 14, 15.
See, but now you're 20.
Yeah.
5. I mean, and they're 14-year-olds probably now. But
Yeah.
the same
They're gonna lay you
Yeah.
out. They're gonna just lay you out.
Yeah, I mean, but you see
Yeah.
people doing like the Hammer Whirlwind and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
people
that's-
just with
that's-
the fists of fury,
That's
just going
like death
mad.
metal
yeah.
or ska, or
and you just
something.
look at them like, what are you doing?
Just
Yeah,
like
they-
they hurt people.
Yeah,
aren't you?
like you've just come here to let out some aggression and punch people in the face.
Yeah.
I don't see the enjoyment in that.
The guy,
I
the
don't-
kettle farmer who's coming with what are those drink bags you hold in your back? The camel pack.
Like camel
And he
bags,
comes
yeah.
in already.
A
he's like,
bag.
yeah, trying to beat some people.
No, I don't think Alter Bridge is going to be like that. I mean, because it is a bit more like commercial hard rock. I think there might be some pushing and shoving, but that'll be about it. Really.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, we'll draw a line under that.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to talk about, or
Um,
you've completed Dark Souls for the millionth time? You were boasting about that.
Ooh, I've got a good
yes, I
topic.
have.
You got a topic? You got a
I
hot
bought-
topic?
I bought Rugby Challenge 3.
Oh my god.
Combo-
Okay,
Some
so
country boy coming into
A
going from
rugby-
Dark Souls to a rugby game.
a
Please
rugby
tell us
game.
all about it. Jim.
it's great.
How much rugby do you play?
My God, it looked like he was going to lay him out then.
I've played so much rugby in the game. I mean,
The game, yeah. I'm like world champion.
Oh,
Of course he
awesome.
is, yeah.
Nailed it.
But no, like rugby games, I've played a couple, but they've never worked.
They've
like,
had bad reps.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the Rugby World Championship, which I think came out after the last World Cup, and it was just absolutely like blitzed by everyone. It was like, this is pointless.
Yeah.
None of the controls work. The AI is retarded. Like, you have no idea what's going on. Like you'll just be able to just stand there and no one will tackle you. Because
this is
like,
the thing.
no
I
one can
mean,
see you.
football games are massive because the game of football is quite flowing. Like, you know, just kicking a ball around. Whereas, rugby is more of a game of stages.
Yeah.
Like, you have set piece plays, and then, you know, it's. I guess you'd have to have like 6 or 7 different games built into one. Like, for a line out, I can imagine there being a different set of controls for a scrummage.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, the game, it's not great. It's broken up into different areas. And you're like, fuck, I gotta do another scrum. I'm gonna win it because I'm playing on easy. Like,
I could never in rugby games. I could never defend. I had no idea what was going on because
You just
guys,
kind of run. You just kind of run back and just hope for the best. Like there's,
kind
you're
of.
just in control of a line. But I find that rugby games are not good games, and it's not. What's sad is it's not a representation of the actual sport.
No,
So
it's
because
good, yeah.
it's such good fun. I mean, we've all played rugby.
Yes.
Like it is a great sport to play, and I prefer it way more than football. But like, what?
I imagined you more as a football guy.
What?
Really?
Hell
Well,
no. Hell no.
Oh, you're a real man.
No, it's, yeah,
You're gonna piss off football
and
fans.
he's like
isn't
the
he?
secret sports star. Like every
He is,
time
look at
I
him.
meet up with him to play.
He's wearing an
pool,
Under Armour hoodie.
I meet up with him to play pool. I was like, "You play
Man's
with
just
the
come
pool?"
back
He's
from
like,
the
"Yeah,
gym.
like a casual little game of pool." And he comes up and tells me after, like, "Oh yeah, I actually represented the county," and I'm like, "For fuck's sakes."
Well, you see, when I
in
kick-
snooker, not in pool. to
When
be
I
fair.
kick this man's
So what
ass-
is the difference? What's pool and then there's English English?
No. You've got American pool. Pool is American, isn't
With
it?
the coloured
Billiards
balls,
is-
with the coloured
Yeah, yeah.
balls, and you
yeah,
got
with reds and with
Spots and
stripes.
stripes, yeah.
And then you've got
biggies and
billiards,
smalls.
and then you've got
Sorry,
Biggies and smalls.
Biggies and smalls.
Good
yeah.
band
Yeah,
name.
but then, that's a good one. But then you've got billiards, which is 1 to 9.
And then
where you
there's
have
British
to
billiards, isn't there?
I think that's the same thing.
British
isn't it?
pool.
What are you thinking? You stop putting British in front of things.
Yeah, just
It's-
confusing me. But no, you've got billiards, which is 1 to 9. It's pot 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
in
Man
a row.
voted for Brexit.
Yeah, of course he did.
No, you're not allowed to vote, are you? Because
I was allowed to
Were you
vote.
allowed to
I was
vote?
actually allowed. I think I was allowed to vote. I was
Okay.
told I was allowed to vote.
Oh, okay.
I stayed out of it.
Okay.
I have my views,
I
but
could
I
truly
don't
see
say
in
anything.
that.
Like just true Switzerland there. Like,
I'm staying out of it.
No, with those games, I think like FIFA, no one's ever going to take down FIFA, but I think the hype has definitely left FIFA because
Yeah,
FIFA
the new
17
one.
came out like 2 weeks ago, and there was like before. I remember when it came out maybe 3 years ago, and people were just like, "I've just bought like the latest FIFA. I think it was FIFA 14 or something
It's
like
because
that."
the new console generation came out, so
Yeah.
everyone wanted to see higher graphics, more processing power, and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
you can't iterate on the game of football. It is what it
that's
is.
it,
You
yeah.
can change the controls.
yeah,
You
football
can-
is football.
a slide tackle
Yeah.
being
See,
square
now,
or
the
triangle.
whole breakthrough
but-
thing is that you can actually see like footprints in the grass. That's
So this is the thing. It's all
It's-
graphical
it's,
stuff.
Yeah, it's graphic stuff. It's not
I
gameplay.
mean, that's
Yeah.
fundamentally it's kind of
Yeah.
kept now.
And when people say like, "Oh, they've changed the game mechanics completely," I'm like, "You're still playing football, right?"
Yeah.
Like,
Tell you what,
that's,
it's good.
That's literally the end game.
Well, the
You'll
only
never-
other thing improving is AI, I
Yeah.
suppose. Like
Yeah.
having your team, because you can only control one player at a time, but the AI has to put the other players in the right positions in order for you to pass
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah.
So I guess, it's going to be advancements in AI and graphics, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it.
Yeah,
I mean, but
and like the crowd and things like that, and the commentation, like the commentators, and it's just. I always get bored with FIFA because you kind of play it for 2 hours and you're just like, I'm just playing.
Man, if
games
you
of
think
football.
that's boring, I mean, I think this game is Don Bradman cricket.
oh, for God's
The
sake.
commentary, you know.
Let's go from
Rugby
a
and
boring.
It's a
cricket,
brilliant
Jesus
game. Like it's a
Christ,
brilliant game, but commentary wise,
Oh, it's a clunk on the schnickometer.
he's hit that so high. It's gonna bring rain. And then you hear it like, and then you hear it like 6 times in a row.
Oh, I clocked that one.
I think that sentence just gave me AIDS. Like but again, that's the problem. Is you're trying to make a sport that millions and millions of people love into a video game. It doesn't need a video game.
Well, it
Like that's
depends.
the way.
Cricket.
Yeah.
No, no,
because
it
it's-
depends.
No, it does. I mean, it does. It's
Do you
I
think it
can't
actually
imagine
adds something
cricket
to?
working.
No.
Like, I mean, sports
I've
games.
played,
that-
I've played like, is it Brian Lara and stuff like that?
I played that on the
years and years ago.
PlayStation. Yeah,
God.
I was like, what am I doing?
Like,
I just
just-
hit a
just-
button and like nothing.
but this
happened.
one's
Yeah.
actually like it's like a simulator.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
You
So,
can
but
sit
again-
there for
but-
5 days being a wicket keeper if
But
you
again-
wanted to.
But the popular sports games, right, are the ones where the sport is a flowing one,
Yeah.
like football, basketball,
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
They're the games that seem to, the really popular ones. Whereas things like rugby games and cricket games are only marginal because I think it's purely for the simulator aspect of it, rather than. I mean, I hate to say it, but rather than the joy of the game within that sort of aspect, you're like, oh, I want to simulate how to swing a bat at the appropriate angle
See,
so
with
it hits off
though,
there.
with VR, it might take off.
Yeah, I mean
Maybe
that's
that's
another
the next step,
yeah.
really, isn't it?
I mean,
Sports
that's-
via VR.
Yeah, I think that's going to change. I mean, I think mostly it's going to be for sports like boxing and things
Yeah,
like that, where it's really
Yeah,
going to come
boxing,
in because, especially with the Oculus Rift, 'cause they
UFC.
will have.
UFC.
Are you guys boxing fans?
Not really. I don't. Again, it's a sport I've never really. I think it's a sport you grow up with.
Yeah.
Because it usually
I like watching
tends.
the occasional.
I've
fight,
got
but-
really into it lately. I mean, maybe it's just because
Yeah.
New Zealanders doing it.
This is the thing, because I think a lot of boxing fans that I've met have been brought up as boxing fans. Like their parents have either
Punch
been
them.
their parents have either been boxers or have used it as a training method,
Yeah.
so they found it really interesting. But I personally can't watch two men beat the shit out of each other because I just don't find it entertaining.
I do appreciate
Tactically,
the technical
yeah.
aspect of it, and I absolutely love boxing films like Rocky. Absolutely love it. Raging Bull.
Creed.
Trying to think of more. Well, Creed is still
is
Rocky, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I absolutely love that series.
Yeah.
And
But you're just a big Stallone fan.
I
Like
love
he's just
Stallone.
mumbled his way through. All
No,
your
he is
favourite
not a
films.
mumbler. He is a credible character actor. I love him. He's great.
Oh, he is.
He's a
He's
mumbler.
great, yeah. No, he's like in his heyday. Stop it. Yeah. It all ended when he did "Stop or My Mum Will Shoot," which I have seen, and
Have I even heard of that?
it's a bad movie. He's like
I saw some
he's
of-
a policeman.
What's it called?
"Stop or My Mum Will Shoot." He's a policeman that gets like tagged up with his mum for some strange reason, and there is actually a line in the end. It's like "Stop or My Mum Will Shoot," and you're like, "Oh my god, this is awful."
So I started watching Bullet to the Head, and oh man, that was.
His like generic action stuff is quite bad. Although I did
Tell
quite
you.
like the one with him and Schwarzenegger in it. The one where they're in the prison.
Escape.
The escape
Plan.
plan,
That was
yeah.
good. That was good.
Yeah, and like, it's especially
kinda
just
went-
Arnold. Yeah,
it went
you
south,
eat like a
though.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
It's good. It was great.
Arnie's lines. Some of his one-liners, you're just like, brilliant. That
Yeah.
was made for you. Well,
Cocaine.
obviously it
and-
was, but
yeah.
So to wrap things up, I think we need to give some ratings for the things we've talked about. So the first thing, Luke Cage. What would you rate it out of 5 stars?
5 stars. I'm probably give it a 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah,
I think I would give it a 3 as well.
Yeah.
I did like it. There were certain. I think it tailed off near the end.
Yeah.
Like I started to lose interest near the end.
Yeah.
But
As a first season, I think it did well, but I think it's got a lot to prove in the next
Yeah.
one where they start doing crossovers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 3.5 is pretty fair.
Okay.
I just simply don't like the last name Cage, so.
I'm gonna
give it 1.
He's got immediate prejudice against Cage.
don't-
So if you
don't
bring
like
me
him.
into it, it's going to average out.
Do you not
about
like
a 2.
Nicolas Cage? Come on, like The Rock. That's a great movie.
I don't know.
Warback, why am I not surprised, you piece of shit?
I don't know.
I just,
It's like he has this weird
I,
look, man.
I like pretty much every Nick Cage film because he just hoard himself out to everyone who will pay him.
Yeah,
and
well,
I like that.
isn't he like a massive amount of debt? That's why I kind of had to take a load of
probably,
like
yeah.
garbage.
Jesus, some of the films.
scripts.
Anyway, that's yeah.
Okay, so you haven't watched it. I'm giving it a 3. So what about Alter Bridge, The Last Hero? Would you rate the album?
I'd give it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, because I love tracks like Blackbird, and I love like those kind of more quiety, ballady things where Miles is.
I think I did prefer Fortress a little more because it is a bit more melodic in places. This one is quite relentless,
Yeah.
and it can be quite exhausting to listen
But
to.
then again,
all
it's
in one
early
go.
days. I'm still kind of getting into it and getting a graph. Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
You can give it a 4. I might give it a. Yeah, I want to go 3.5,
I'll give it a
but
3,
You just
I'll
love
say
sitting on the
3.
fence, don't you?
I love 3.5
Yeah.
maybe because it's not as. I would give Fortress a 4. So I can't.
Fortress.
Fortress.
Very good,
Yeah.
very good.
Oh my god. So I think because I don't think this is quite as good as Fortress, I would give it a 3.5. What was the last thing we talked about? The rugby game. What was the rugby game?
No, I thought we talked about something else.
What did we talk about?
We
No.
talked about a lot.
No,
of
we're
things.
talking about
Yeah,
about
rugby
games.
and video
Video
games.
games.
Sports games in general. What would you rate them?
I think if go on. What would you give this rugby game that you were playing? What was it called?
Rugby Challenge 3.
There you
Rugby
go.
Challenge 3.
See, now that's a
There's
discount bin title.
Two
if you
others
want
that
one.
we completely
It's
didn't
because
know.
it's got the All Blacks in it. It's
Oh, of
definitely
course
up
you're in
there.
it.
isn't
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's all right. It's not bad. Give it a 3.
Give it a 3. What about is it Brian Lara cricket?
Don Bradman.
Don
cricket.
Bradman.
Don Bradman.
We've
We've
gone
moved
from
on.
Brian Lara to Don
There's a
Bradman.
sequel coming out, and I'm going to go down
Oh,
as
for crying out loud.
17.
Doesn't Don Bradman sound like such a cricketer?
You
Sounds like an
design
accountant.
You guys,
Don Bradman.
you can design your own stadiums in the next one.
Oh,
Just because the game itself is
it's
so boring.
yeah.
It's like, this one you can play with pink cricket bats.
The introduction of day and night tests might be good. Anyways, I'd give it a solid. I'd give Don Bradman. I'm actually going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 for Don Bradman Incorporated.
Did you say it's 4.5 bats out of 5?
4.5 wickets.
4.5 wickets.
4.5.
Yeah, half a wicket.
You give it half a wicket. Is a full wicket?
It hit me for 6.
Okay. All right.
And-
well, this has been an absolute pleasure.
What do
I've
I rate
enjoyed
you
this.
guys out
What are
of
you going to rate
5?
me? Jeremy, this has been your first time on a podcast. I've enjoyed it.
Thank
Andy's
you.
looks furious. I'm not sure.
Ambivalent.
Ambivalent about the whole.
Only because it's one of my favourite words.
My voice is now going to be blasted out onto the interwebs.
It is. Yeah, I'm going to do terrible, terrible things with your voice.
Good.
And on that note, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
and
you very
goodbye.
much. Goodbye.